palm reading, palmistry reading of a very famous politician of Madhya Pradesh, India, from Bharatiya Janata Party, Kailash Vijayvargiya. He is the National General Secretary of Bharatiya Janata Party, and in 2015 he was appointed National General Secretary by Party President Amit Shah as the new leader of BJP in West Bengal. So just imagine that many people don't find his comments to be very good, and people think that he might be not the top politician, but there must be some quality where he was chosen as the basically the National General Secretary by the party president of West Bengal of BJP. So we are going to be looking at the qualities that we see on this particular hand, and for that I am going to draw over his hand images and try to show you what all things I see good in his hand. The first and the foremost, the most important aspect of his palm is that he has a line of Mars, M-A-R-S, Mars. This is the line that we are speaking about. Normally, not many people have it. This is the headline, this is the heart line, this is the heart line I will draw again. This is the money line, you don't see it much, and this is the line of Mercury. So these are the important lines that we see on his hand, and this is the lifeline and this is the headline. So, everybody has these heart line, money line, Mercury line, many people have it, and the lifeline, but not many people have this particular line besides the lifeline, a line that is running parallel to the line of life. This is called the guardian angel line, this is called the supporting lifeline, and this is also called the Mars line. So people who have this particular line, basically they have extreme amount of fighting spirit. Why do we say fighting spirit? Because it is starting on the mount of Mars. This is the area where the line is starting onto. This is the area where it starts. So it gets the quality of Mars, and Mars is a red planet. Red means anger, aggression, and fire. So these people are angry, aggressive, and fiery kind, and these people might take up huge amount of challenges. Like a person who's a fighter, they would take huge amount of challenges and they'll just go and ram it out. Like they would just be a bull, and like they would go against the best of fighters. So these people are not afraid. You would notice that he gives many comments which might sound to be very inflammatory, but this is what the person is. So to defeat such a person is also extremely difficult. So what happens is that this particular line that we are talking about, this is also in the hand of Mamata Banerjee, this is also in the hand of Sonia Gandhi, and both of these leaders, they have a similar kind of a line, similar, like it means running parallel till the whole life. The line could be short, just like this much, just a short Mars line. It could be something like this, or it could be totally absent. So it could be either way, but having a long line is a rare line. Short line, those lines you can see on many hands, but a long line is rare to see, and this kind of nature would remain till the last breath in his life. So you would also, one more thing I would add out here is, you might say that we are looking at the left hand. Why are we looking at the left hand of a male person? The answer is plain and simple. Right hand is the active hand, left hand is the passive hand. Left is the hand of past, right is the hand of present. but we do not ignore the left hand. It's your hand, so it does tell something or the other about you. It's not that we are ignoring your left hand. The other part is that don't think that both of your hands are going to be different. It need not be, but both of your hands are different. There could be lots of similarities, and in most of the people, it's almost 80% hand similarities are there. It's only few points that might be here and there. So I would assume that his right hand is also the similar, and that is why I am giving this particular interpretation. And this interpretation is just for your informational sake, so that you learn how do we see a particular hand. So try to understand. If we just look at this line, that is it, and that's the end of the hand reading. It tells everything about that particular person. It is kind of a armor around you. It is something like you are wearing a protection gear, and this is going to protect you from difficult people, difficult situations, and you are generally you're going to come out as a winner. Mars, I would explain again what Mars is. This is the portion where your lifeline starts. Starting of the lifeline is something like a spark, and that spark basically when you light a matchstick and apply it to a candle, like the candle is burning for a long time. So the Mars is basically the area where the fire originates. This is the portion where the fire originates, and it continues. So if there is, imagine if there's some discontinuity in one's lifeline, like there's a break out here. Imagine if there was a break. So what this supporting lifeline would do, it is going to support this particular person's during this particular hardship. During this particular hardship, the person would not be affected as badly as the person would have been affected if this supporting lifeline was not there. If this supporting lifeline was not there, this gives the people the ability to fight against difficult people and difficult situations and come out as winners. You would notice that he doesn't even have a money line proper. So don't assume that having no proper money line, the person would not make any money. This particular line takes care of everything, every possible thing. Normally what happens is that this line is found to be a very good sign in the hand of lawyer, and I think he did his studies in law, but probably he might, I don't know if he did practice law or not. But this line, whenever we see this line, is basically indicative of fighting abilities. So the lawyers are the people who are fighting on a daily basis. So if this line is found in the hands, it's a good sign. It can also be found in the hands of policemen. It can be also found in the hands of farmers, or it could or the army people. But this line can also be found in the hands of a businessman. So fighting spirit can be a quality that can be that can be in any person. It need not be only in the hand of people who are mentally fighting or physically fighting, but also in people who are in business or in politics. So this is one of the best line that we see out here. The other aspect is that the person, this is the headline and this is the lifeline. So there's both lines are like, the length of those lines are nearly equal. So it means that the person has got a balanced personality, and these lines are not coming and straight away joining into each other. So that's a good sign. These lines should be the head and the heart line. The head means the thought process and the heart means the emotional. They shouldn't be interconnected. If they're interconnected, like then some bad result can come because of your emotions getting intermingled with your thought process, or your thought process getting intermingled with your emotions. So independence of both these lines is important, and we do see a small line that is coming and leaning upward, pointing towards the Mount of Mercury. So this line is starting somewhere at the age of 34 or so. So probably 34 age would have been important. Upward line is always considered to be good, pointing towards the Mercury. It means that some good things might have happened during that particular age and benefit might have come. He also has got a Mercury line, so good amount of skills the person has. The networking skills, the communication skills, the business skills, all these things are present in such a person. The heart line is also deep and clear and singular. It is signifying that the person does not get stressed. The person is focused. The person is dedicated. The person practices detachment. Detachment doesn't mean detaching yourself from your loved ones or not enjoying your life. Detachment is what Gita says, being in a moment without having expectation of the outcome. So this nature he has, and that's the reason why he is able to succeed and able to rise up to high position. So normally what happens is that heart line in many people, it is not so clear. Some people have this kind of a heart line, so palpitation and stress develops, and when the opportunity arises, the person loses that particular opportunity because the person feels afraid and that their heart is not functioning in the most proper way. That is the reason of failure. But out here we find that the heart line is very deep and singular, which means that the person is able to manage stress extremely well, and that is the reason for success. So again, some people also have got island like formations on the heart line, elongated periods of emotional stress. We don't see such a sign on his hand. Some people also have a heart line which is constantly branches pointing downwards. It means flirtatious nature, but we don't find such an indication as well. So the person is highly focused. The other aspect is that it's kind of a perception that has developed that he's in religion he is very too much into one religion. So what we see is that the heart line is running further, like reaching the Mount of Jupiter, and whenever it reaches the Mount of Jupiter, it is indicative of a person to be very sensitive, very idealistic, and the emotions also run really deep. So these people also have higher expectations. Not necessarily everything is going to get fulfilled, but just that there are higher expectations, and they could go into extreme because of their emotions. Such people could be extremely sensitive also, but at the same time extremities of emotions could also be there. So so this is what I could read on his hand. The other part is that it's a reasonably well-structured hand. Well-structured hand means good hold over people, money and resources, and richness comes, richness not in terms of money but in terms of content, comes from a hand that has got good padding over it. Good padding over the mounts, it brings in richness. So rich in qualities, and people who are rich in qualities can automatically outmaneuver, they can outmaneuver other person, and they can come out of difficult situations due to their richness in knowledge. So that's it for this particular reading. I hope you liked this particular video. If you like this video, do click on the like button. Do give your precious comments. Even if you dislike this particular video, I would be happy to receive your comments. I would try to improve upon the further videos that I would be making. And before I end this particular video, I would just add that you can get a paid reading by calling me, or you can email me, and press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update. You can money line, people think that money is only represented on your money line, but it can come about to show up on any line. Like on this particular person's hand, the Mars line was very prominent, very long and very prominent. So it comes from there. And Mars line people also, like, they can make good amount of money through properties. And a saint once said to me, you don't need to go to an astrologer or palmist to know about your future, because you already know your future. Present is a result of past. How will be my future? Future depends upon what you are doing in the present. What are we? We are product of our thoughts. If we keep negative thoughts, we will go towards negative direction. So the thoughts that come to our mind are really important. Be aware that what thought is coming into you. And that's it for this video. Comment, like, subscribe. Bye. Take care.